I'm ready.
Good afternoon and welcome to Table Talk on 802 Scoop, live from 185 North Main Street in Barrie, where it's super cold and I'm not liking it and I'm bitching and complaining and it's not even 35 or 40 below yet. I gotta move this screen because I can't see. It drives me insane.
Hi.
It drives me crazy that I can't see what's going on. Anyways, because of the cold temperatures, the city has activated the emergency shelters. So the cold weather ones, they start tomorrow, Friday, January 23rd, and they are going all the way through Tuesday morning, January 27th. So Friday, the warming shelter opens at the Church of the Good Shepherd at 7 a.m. And they're open from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. And then Friday evening, meal at Heading Methodist Church, doors open at 4:30, and that will be done at 5:30. And then the overnight shelter is open at the Congregational Church from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Saturday is the breakfast at the Congregational Church. That's at 8 a.m. Special warming center and dinner at the Church of Good Shepherd from 2 to 9. And then the emergency shelter is open overnight again at the Congregational Church from 9 to 7. And on Sunday, the special center is open at the Good Shepherd from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. with dinner at 4:30. And then the overnight cold shelter is open 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Monday, the warming shelter is open for breakfast at the Church of Good Shepherd at 7, and that'll end at 10. And then the overnight shelter opens at 7 and is open until 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and that again is at the Congregational Church. And then Tuesday morning, the Good Shepherd, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. as well. So all of the addresses, all the dates, times, all of that stuff is located right on our page. Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff.
It was.
We keep getting warnings that there's something going on with the computer, so we're going to do this as long as we can. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
If it kicks us out, keeps us on, what it's going to do. I have no clue.
Just a couple of gamblers rolling the dice,
yeah.
See what happens.
Because right now I have no clue what the hell it's going to do to us. So, is what it is at this point. Yeah. And next, why don't we talk about what's going on this weekend up at the BOR? You have some stuff.
There's some stuff. Well, you mentioned earlier, Black Bear Hockey, Friday Night Lights. Mm-hmm. That's Friday night. Looks like it starts at 7:30.
Yep.
Saturday, there's 2 Spalding hockey games. So I'm guessing girls will probably play first, and the boys. This says starting at 2:30. I'm pretty sure the first game's at like 3:30. Also Saturday evening, Coyotes versus, looks like New England Lightning. 6 p.m. game at the auditorium. And Sunday at 5 p.m., the Moutois Open Gym Basketball in the auditorium. So, you got some places to go in where it's nice and warm and get out of the cold.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we say all this today on Vermont Homelessness Awareness Day. There are all kinds of events, different things taking place in Montpelier, Burlington, all over. So you can check out those events and read up on that and what's going on at the State House and other places as well.
And as far as we know, Veggie VanGo is on for
As
tomorrow?
far as we know, it's still on. I have not seen where it has been canceled, and I haven't gotten any messages that it's been canceled. Last time they did close because of cold weather. So, but it doesn't look like the horribleness is going to come in until tomorrow afternoon. Tonight it's supposed to get blustery and snowy, and we were supposed to have some squalls that could bring significant amount of snow. But so far, I've seen nothing that says it's going to be really cold tomorrow. At least in the 20s, I think it's going to be.
Yeah, but they get there early. They're set up and ready to go by 9 o'clock. And they're gone, I'd say, by 11:30 at the latest. So.
Yeah, so hopefully they can do that, get in and out, and, be out of there before the cold and everybody, because they didn't have it last month. A lot of people were anticipating having it, especially for the holidays.
Yeah.
And we've gotten many comments this morning on the post that I did saying, are they going to cancel again? That we don't know. I mean, we hope not. We're just the sharer of the news.
Yeah.
So, we try to get that information out to everybody, and hopefully it sticks and they get to be there.
We find out the same time the general public does.
Yeah, and we just try to share it as quick as we can. Lots of fires lately.
Yeah.
There was a couple more this morning in Essex, and I guess, people are heating, and some people are trying to heat with sources that they may not normally heat with, affordability, stuff like that. But I was noticing today they talked about the town of Lowell, losing their town garage, and
Yeah.
that was a huge fire. But lots of stuff happening
Wasn't
like
it the other
that.
day there was one over near Hyde Park?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good. And then we saw one, they were showing the pictures of it the other night. We watched the video. I think that was in like Swanton or something.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
remember. That one was pretty bad.
That was a big one.
And I don't know if they're all related to that, but yeah, lots of them happening. Sad. A shitty time of year to have that happen for sure. Since we mentioned the BOR, we should mention that the concession
Concession,
stand,
as far as I know, they're still looking for volunteers to help out.
which it's heated in there.
It's heated, and believe me, the night I went up, it wasn't very busy. The only time people come in that are watching the game is between the first and second periods. And some of them, it's not that long a break in between, so people just kind of stay out there.
Yep.
But those that, don't want to sit out in the cold bleachers, there's people that'll sit inside, get a coffee or hot chocolate, something to eat. So you're not really busting your butt, but it's a good thing to do.
And
help
it's a
them
big
out.
help, and it's put on by the Barrie Rotary.
Yeah.
That's who does the concession, and they donate money every year to causes around the city.
Sure.
So it's worth it.
And when you're done at the end of the night, you might be able to take home a hot dog or two and maybe a little bag of popcorn.
Yeah, hot pretzel maybe. You never
Maybe.
know.
Maybe.
Yeah, you never
Yeah.
know what's left over in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might make it worth it. One of those warm pretzels and a little bit of cheese sauce to dip it in.
That's right.
Have you ever done that?
They do. They have it up there. They have the cheese if you want to dip it.
Yeah. Sounds like good
They have-
stuff to me.
They have, I think it's nachos or whatever. They have chips and you can get the melted cheese. And they got a nice little menu up there. You know?
We'll have to check it out sometime. We have to say congratulations to Katie Jones of the Turning Point Center of Central Vermont for graduating from the Common Good Vermont's nonprofit management certificate program today. Katie is one of the recovery coach supervisors over at the Turning Point Center on Air Street, and someone I absolutely adore, and I consider her a good friend, but she's always been kind of somebody I viewed as one of my own, or one of my kids that I worried about and loved, and I
Yeah.
still do
Yeah.
mother her a little bit, I'm sure. But yeah, she's doing really great, and she's over there and busting her butt and doing great things for the community. So, yeah,
Good for her.
we'll be talking about her, and she and a few other people will be in here soon on 802 Scoop and It's No Secret, so that we can talk about Recovery Day, which is coming up in Montpelier on the 11th of February, and we sponsored that event. So, yeah,
Good.
I'm excited about that too.
I met her that morning. We had breakfast over.
Yes.
Yeah, she's very nice. Very
She
nice
is
girl.
a nice girl. I adore her. And of course, she's been here, lived here for a really long time. And then we have another like drug bust up in the boonies of Eden.
Eden, of all places.
I know. But I guess, I mean, you're on the outskirts, you're out of sight, out of mind. Is
Yeah.
that what they think? I don't know.
That's
crazy.
one of those. Don't blink when you drive through, or you'll miss everything.
Right, and apparently that's what these people were hoping, is that everybody would miss everything and not notice that. I don't know. Whatever.
But I've heard too, a lot of dealers will do that. They'll move out. They'll move out into the more rural areas, but they'll have their runners that will take care of getting customers.
Yeah, getting all that stuff that will sell and go by and do all that kind of stuff for them. Yeah. We have to mention that also coming up, I'm going to go. I'm going with Kate, actually. On February 7th is the Galentines Gala that put on by Emslie's, and that's going to be at the Berry Social Club from 7 to 9 p.m. And there's all kinds of stuff going on. There's prizes and a photo booth and music and dance and all of that stuff. $1,500 in gift certificates for all the things a girl loves. Think lashes, hair, nails, tanning, facials, Botox, clothing, bags, flowers, of course, and more. All ladies 18 and over, grab your best friends, mark your calendars, and get ready to dress up for a night of fun, laughter, and a little spoiling. So, yeah, all the entries, all of that good stuff. So check that out. You got to register to go, and that will, you can go right to Emslie's page if you want to click on that link, and we'll be sharing the event link. It's $35 per person, and you must have a ticket to enter.
Wow.
Yeah,
Hot time and
pretty
very-
fancy. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have to cook your own dinner.
Yeah.
Well,
I
actually,
can
it doesn't.
do that.
It doesn't start until.
Are you insinuating that I'm helpless?
No, not at all.
Oh my God.
But I'm not going to be around.
I'll find something.
You'll find
Oh
something.
yeah. There's
Domino's.
plenty of takeout places around here.
7 p.m. is when it starts. So see, I have time to do all that anyway. But anyway, so that's happening. Check it out. Good stuff.
Maybe I'll grab
love it.
Michael and we'll go down to the Chinese place.
Oh, there you go. He would be more than happy and willing to do that. He'd be excited about that for sure. So you should check
A
it
little
out.
male bonding time with me and Michael.
There you go.
Yeah.
You need that. Although last night you weren't wanting to bond with him, he was pissing you off. But we won't talk about that.
We'll
today.
mend the fence.
Yep, you guys can be nice to
Have
each
some-
other again.
Yeah.
Upcoming city council meeting. What you
yeah.
got? Nothing like earth shattering.
No, we'll start listening to budget talks. Department heads will start filtering in, and then the groups that we support, the library and BADC and the partnership and the Granite Museum, they'll all be in. So this coming week, we hear from those agencies and some of the department heads. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be very interesting. I mean,
Hopefully it won't be like a super long one, late craziness or anything. But
yeah, let's hope.
it's been a couple weeks since you've met, though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So they've had time. They had their Congress, budget Congress, where the department heads are locked up for 1 or 2 days up at Alumni Hall, and they go through each other's budgets. I remember sitting through those.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. I can
It
only
is.
imagine.
And sometimes, it gets a little heated because I might not like something that, let's say, the street department's asking for.
Right.
And they may not like something I'm looking for or something the fire department's looking for. But, it's civil. it's a good way to go. I mean, we never.
Well, and it's got to be exhausting
It is,
to go through it all.
but it's good to know how the other department heads feel, and what they think, they really need compared to something we know we need. And it's interesting,
Yeah.
and it's kind of work your way to a midpoint where you agree with each other.
Right, where everybody can kind of say, okay, go ahead and put that out there,
Yeah.
put that info out there. Yeah. Interesting. I kind of would like to listen in to one of those just to see how it goes, works, but
Yeah.
kind of not either, because I bet you it's pretty grueling. It's Thirsty Thursday out back at Summer Street Tavern. $6 for 23-ounce drafts and $6 for pickleback shots. So I see a picture of a shot of something with like a big dill pickle in it. Back in my day, we drank tequila. You know,
What the hell, a dill pickle? And
in a drink.
no, can't do it.
That doesn't sound appealing. That doesn't sound good. A dill pickle in a drink.
Even if I was still drinking, it doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good to me either. I'm not so sure about that at all. But obviously, some people like that, and I would like to know what it is. I'd like to know what the drink is. Routhier Auto is now doing walk-in oil changes. You can go in from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Walk in, no appointment needed. Get your oil changed, hang out in the nice waiting area there, have a cup of coffee, and let them do the work.
Yeah,
You don't
they
gotta
do.
worry
They have
about
a
it.
nice waiting area.
They do. It's big. They got TVs. It's warm. Coffee, tea, snacks, whatever. All that good stuff.
I might just go up there and hang out.
You think Don would let you?
Oh, he'd let me.
He
Yeah.
might put you to work.
I guess I won't go up.
You never know. 1 year ago today, or no, not 1 year ago today. Today is the anniversary of January 22nd, 2018. Vermont was the first state to do so through legal legislation and not a voter reference to legalize possession and home cultivation of marijuana in Vermont. Yeah.
All right.
All
Happy
those
anniversary.
rules. Yeah. Happy anniversary to all of those. All you pot smokers out there, happy anniversary. It's a good day to you. I don't think it's been that big, that big of a deal. I haven't heard of huge problems, and I know, people say more people are driving under the influence. Da, da, da. I don't agree that it's from marijuana. I think people have been smoking marijuana for forever, and I can't see where that probably elevated the numbers big time. I think the opioid crisis
Yeah.
certainly has,
Yeah.
and how people are found slumped over the wheels in their cars or totally passed out, or, and then they just
It's like
go.
it's like they don't have a joint stuck in their arm,
Right. Right. Or the pipe is
Find them with
laying on the
find them with a pipe hanging out of their mouth.
right. The pipe isn't sitting on the seat beside them,
Yeah.
and whatever. So I'm not so sure that the DUI is the increase in that is marijuana related. But of course, the naysayers of marijuana would like
Oh, yeah.
everyone to believe
Yeah.
that. So, whatever. It is what it is when
Yep.
it comes to that stuff. I did also read this week, and I mean, I don't want to say this in a negative way. I don't mean it in a negative way, but they talked about the deaths, the opioid crisis, and the death toll being down again in 2025, and that's all great. I think that's wonderful. Any life that can be saved, good. But that's because of Narcan. So we've learned how to save a life, but we haven't learned how to make it stop reoccurring.
Right.
And so there's no, like, you save them, but then what? There's no, okay, we're bringing you here, and this is where you're going to stay, and there's no stuff
I'd like to know
that.
what the numbers are. Someone that's been brought back, how many times they've
Right,
done it
how
after
many
that.
times have they been brought
Yeah.
back? And once you're brought back, what happens? And where do you go? And what do you do? Do you just, and we know there are circumstances where some people are brought back more than once in one day. And so while I think that there's been a huge step forward, absolutely, if we can save lives, good, but we still have a long way to go. And I just, I hate those publications because it just makes me feel like people are going to relax about it and think, okay, we're getting this under control. And we're not getting it under control at all. It's still very far away
Yeah.
from that point. And much still needs to be done, for sure. And I really hope, or I hoped, that is something that would be dealt with on a greater level in Montpelier this year. But I don't see where a lot of things are surrounding that. Would they talk about, top of mind was the school and the education reform, and then public safety. And it is a part of public safety, but how will they spend that money and move all of that forward, including maybe some rehabilitation and I don't know, sober living homes that are actually monitored, that aren't just glorified sober living homes that charge Medicare and other insurance companies for things that don't happen at them,
Yeah.
and that aren't staffed, and they're literally an apartment building with people in them and nothingness. You're on your own. You find your own groups. You find a way to get there. You do this. You do that. That's not sober living.
Right.
There has to be a structured, well-run environment. And
And,
there are some really good examples like V4 and the place in Burlington where Craig was. The name of it just escaped me for some reason. But there are some really good run programs that do a lot and push you to do a lot. And then there are some that are not so much.
I've started to learn some of this stuff, with, because of your son. And,
Yep.
there's some really great places, and then there's some places where they just leave a guy sitting there.
Yeah. And that's dangerous. It's dangerous on many levels. Mental health, not just for use, but possible suicide and other things like that. It's just not a good situation. And so hopefully those things can be worked on, and people that run those homes and charge these insurance companies and others, and even the people living in them, charge them rent for a program. If they're not providing it, that they're kind of called out onto the carpet, and some changes can be made, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be rules other than here's a room in a house for you. You have run of the whole house. You use kitchen, washer, dryer, bathroom, whatever. Behave yourself.
Yeah.
There has to be much more to it than that.
Yeah.
Because if that was the case, my kid would have been fine at home. He had all that at home, but obviously he needs much more than that, and more.
And he had someone a lot stricter than he probably would have had in another place, keeping an eye on him.
Exactly. And but also like cooking the meals, doing the laundry, clean, whatever. But that isn't what was needed. That it's the structure and the help and the encouragement and the I don't know, being with a group of people that are going through the same shit as you and making it all work, I guess. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes in Montpelier. I don't see where that's a ton of stuff. So
Can you believe we only got one more week of January?
no, it has gone by fast.
I know.
But it's encouraging because it almost makes me feel like
Spring's around the
winter.
corner.
Right, exactly. We're almost out of this shit.
So when I was working, me and the guys used to that's how we figured out where we were in the year. One day it just rolls right after another. because it would have been either the third Thursday, or the last Thursday of January would have been the farm show. Mm-hmm. And then a week after the farm show left was the gun show. And then 2 weeks after the gun show got done was the basketball tournaments, and then boom, it's spring. you know?
Right.
That's the way we used to look at it up
Right.
on the hill.
But, well, it helps it go by faster.
It does. It does.
And things to look forward to. We hope that even though those other things are not here anymore, that people will still
Yeah.
come out and do the basketball
Yeah,
tournaments and
the gun
support
show,
that. And,
they still have the gun show.
yeah, that's right up around the corner.
And the farm show, I don't know, this was the year I thought they were going to reopen up at the Champlain Valley, but
I saw that they were doing the Sportsman's Classic
They
or
do
whatever.
that,
They are
yeah.
doing that, but I haven't seen anything about the farm show yet.
that's too bad. 'Cause the reason they moved up there was they wanted more space. They wanted to bring in people from across the lake, the big farms in New York. And, and then
Well, they certainly have
COVID
it.
really put a kibosh to it.
Yeah, for sure. So then they certainly have the space up there to do all of that stuff, that's for sure. Now, speaking of the auditorium, after the tournaments and after some banquet, you said,
Vermont Trappers Association.
they're going to close the auditorium down
Yep.
and the renovations will begin soon thereafter.
We shut it down, I believe April 1st is the deadline. That's when we're going to shut it right down completely. And it's going to open in time for the craft show in November.
So the
They're shooting for the-
entire summer and fall.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's quite an extended time. But
a major
it's going
project.
to open up with updated bathrooms, ADA.
Yeah.
It's going to open with air conditioning.
Air conditioning. Yeah. Can you
which,
imagine that?
when it opens in November, you won't want or need.
Well, no, but what we're also doing, I found out the other day,
air circulation.
they're putting they're going to be rooftop units for the air conditioning, but they're going to be heat too. So then they're only going to replace one boiler, and then use the heat from the roof units too. So they're going to, which has been something we've been asked to do for years by the Vermont Principals Association, because during the tournaments we only have 2 locker rooms downstairs for the teams and 1 changing room for basketball officials. Well, a few years back, we had our first female basketball official. So we had to stick her in like a janitor closet for a changing room. So in this plan is we're going from 2 team locker rooms to 4 and adding another officials room. So you'll have 2
Nice.
officials rooms, 4 locker rooms.
Nice. That'll be good. And yesterday we saw that State Street Seafood and Meat is open.
We
and
gotta
it looked
go.
like they had some really good stuff in their
Yeah.
cases, both seafood and meat.
Yeah.
I don't like going to Montpelier. I don't like driving down there. I don't like dealing with the parking, this, that, and the other. But I think I might go down there and check it out and see what they have. Yeah. Because we don't really have a market like
No.
that anymore.
No, this is,
You used to be able to go out back on Summer Street, get stuff. Mm-hmm. Who else did it? Eastbury. The
Eastbury when
market.
Rubicaba's.
Rubicaba's.
Yeah.
But really, there isn't a.
Well, Quality when Ziders owned it.
Yes.
That was a good
Yes.
butcher shop in there.
Yeah, and they still do have like meats and stuff
Yeah.
in there, but it's not like a true
Right.
meat market. Like
So Gary Rubicaba still makes the holiday roasts.
yes,
He does those. He's retired,
Mm-hmm.
but he works I think 1 or 2 days a week up at Shaw's in the meat department,
Mm-hmm.
and then he does that for Campo Divino. He goes up and makes a special roast for holidays.
for the holidays, and they are really, really good.
Yeah, they're very good.
That for sure. I need to go up there too. I haven't been up to check it out in a while. And today is the day. Like Thursdays is when they open and their specials come out. Let's see what they have actually, since you mentioned it. 5 hours. Sausage Slinging King, says
Oh
that
yeah,
it's time for a
Bobby's
break.
in there.
Yeah, it's time for a break. Fresh sausage is in the case in 2 new cannoli flavors this week: banana cream and Reese's Pieces.
All right, let's go.
Yep. You'll see Michael's smiling face here all day today. And if you're lucky, Robert may poke his head out from the kitchen as well. Open Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 7. Hot, takeout, and retail open. So go and check that out. Yeah. Looks good to me. Everything that she does there is good.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's see what they have at the Meltdown this week. The Meltdown special. She had pictures the other day of her cheesecake. Oh boy.
Now, do they make their own?
Yeah, the lady Donna there makes them.
Donna Dick.
Yes,
Yeah.
she makes the cheesecakes, and they're actually like cake and cheesecake. It's a cheesecake cake. They're freaking amazing. And the carrot cake one, the carrot cake cheesecake is to die for. Like nothing I've ever had before. Absolutely amazing. But I have to have my insulin on hand for that sucker. Let me tell you what. Open-faced Reuben, which is my favorite. Reubens are my favorite. Grilled La Panciata rye, layered with corned beef and sauerkraut, topped with house-made Thousand Island dressing and Swiss cheese, then baked until bubbly. Fork and knife recommended. It looks like you would need a fork and knife. Dine in or take out, whatever keeps you warm. 4 to 8 today, Friday and Saturday, 11:30 to 9, Sunday 11:30 to 8, and Monday 4 to 8. That's their week, Thursday through Monday.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of places are open on Monday. So yeah, you should go check it out. It looks really, really good. Yeah. That might have to be dinner tonight because
You know what?
why not? Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
We'll have to check it out. So anyways, that's it. I think that's
That's
it.
it.
I don't think that we have a bunch else to share, really.
Pro football season's winding up. They got
Yeah.
division championships this weekend. Mm-hmm. I think Patriots are out in Denver, and it's Seattle and who's
And you don't watch the Patriots.
I do not,
And why is that, Jeff?
because
That
I
you don't
am
watch the Patriots?
a big fan of the New York Football Giants.
So my friend Cannon and Kara, they also are Giants fans. I have a few friends that are Giants fans.
So remember, Giants beat the Patriots twice in Super Bowls. So
They did?
yes,
Okay. So that means they're the better team?
well,
Because they've never
the Patriots
been,
have won more Super Bowls, but
but not against the Giants.
correctamundo.
There you go. All right. Well, I'll have to tune in and watch some games, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think that anybody's going to want to do a lot of ice skating this weekend.
no.
Not a lot of outdoor activities.
And,
So
you
people
know-
should go and get their groceries and their comfort food and all of that stuff tonight,
Yeah.
earlier tomorrow. Kind of get ready to hunker down because they said, what did they say this morning in that news thing? I think I posted it. You can get frostbite in 10 minutes,
Yeah.
I think is what they said. It's supposed to be crazy, crazy cold with the wind chills.
So you're talking about outdoor stuff, and that
Yeah, outdoor
that
stuff.
reminded me that there's been stuff on Facebook and other media sites about why doesn't Barrie have an outdoor skating rink anymore? So, I'll tell you why, but as far as I know, it's hard to maintain an outdoor rink for one thing. You know, the last few years we had it. We had some great guys down there that volunteered their time a lot. And it was, you know, they'd get a base down. It's because it's grass. It's a grass base.
Right.
So they'd get a base down. You get rain and ruin it. You'd get it back down again, then it'd warm up and ruin it. Then the ass kicker was, I don't know, probably 3 years ago, maybe 4 now. It's been. the main water line going into the warming hut, it's where we fill the Zamboni and flood the rink, burst. And it's an expensive fix. And it was something that the city manager and the water department decided, it's an expensive fix. We already have a rink on the hill, so they kind of shelved it, and it's been sitting there. So,
But understandable. I mean, a lot has happened, and a lot of money is going
Yeah.
out for many
Yeah.
other things that are really important. And there is the BOR.
and it's hard. You're relying on these 3 or 4 guys that volunteer their time, and you can't ask them. You can't say, "Hey, get down there and get that thing flooded."
Right, get it fixed back up.
We looked at some options a couple of years back when I was still working, and we were looking for another location because where it is too is it's down by the wastewater plant. Swenson Granite has trailer loads of granite loaded up on that road going in, and they had at one point approached us about buying that space. And the city manager and I kind of went around and looked at some different sites where we could possibly put another one in, but right now there's bigger needs.
Absolutely.
You
I mean,
know?
I remember as a kid, my dad trying to keep a rink at our house.
It's
They
hard.
would make a rink at our
Yeah.
house, and it was not easy. It was the biggest pain in the ass,
Yep.
and even us, I was out there trying to shovel it off or keep it, just so. It's not easy.
So when I was a kid, they actually had 3 or 4 outdoor rinks at the city. So the city would flood it to begin with, and then the neighborhood people would take care of the rink, shovel it off, and they'd leave the water so you could flood it. We had one up at Garfield. It's a little playground there now.
Yeah.
That open field, we had a rink.
Oh.
My friend Armin Maurice, his parents lived on the corner there, so Mr. Maurice would flood it, and we'd all shovel it so we could skate on it. They had a real nice one up behind Lincoln School, a big one.
Where the
And-
ball field is?
Yep.
Oh, I did not know that.
And they had one down in North Berry where the softball field was.
Yes, I knew about that one.
Yep.
The one in North Berry, but I didn't know they had the others.
Yep.
That's a lot. That's a lot to maintain.
But they flooded it and, got it started and then turned it over to the neighborhood. And,
And the
parents,
neighborhoods did keep
they
up
did.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd get together, go out, shovel it off, kept it cleared.
Yeah. A lot more kids did that kind of stuff
Yeah.
then too. And
Yeah. There weren't video games and,
no. Things are definitely way different.
Yeah.
We were outside playing way more than we were inside.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's the story about the outdoor rink.
We did use the one that rink, the Willie
We used to
Street.
we used to go over there too. Yeah.
Yeah, we would always be down on Willie Street. Of course, that's what was there when I
Right.
was a kid. When my brother would go down there and play hockey.
Well, that was
with his
the
friends.
rink.
That's
that
what
was,
he would do.
Right. That
Yeah.
was the city rink. There was no BOR.
No.
Well, maybe when you were.
When I was a kid, there was. Yeah, but we walked down to Willie Street, and my brother and all his friends would play hockey, and that's where they loved to be, was down there. We were always either at Ward 5 School
Yep.
or Willie Street.
Yeah. We did Ward 5 school. We were up there a lot in the summer playing street hockey in the yard there. And,
Yep.
yeah.
It was good times back then, which, I don't know. We always talk about that stuff, but
Yep.
it's true. The differences between then and now. When, I don't know, people always say, what can we do with our kids this weekend? Well,
Just go on the website, the city website. There's public skating. There's Michelle runs different things now and then too. So you got to just check there all the time.
and there are plenty of other things that you can do. You can go out, build snow castles, snowmen, go sliding.
Go sliding, yeah.
There's, you can still walk different trails. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do with your kids, or send them outside to do their thing, and you can stay
Yeah.
inside and get your housework done. That's what I used to do.
Yep.
Send the kids out in the backyard and give them a little project, and it's amazing what you can do with one of those little square things that they make the huts with, and give them a package of food coloring and send them on their way. And they're, well, my kids were always happy with that. I don't know. Maybe kids aren't happy with that stuff anymore.
Yeah,
But maybe it's because they don't know about that stuff.
right. It's different too. I don't know. It's just a different environment from like when I was a kid or you were a kid.
Yeah, you don't send them to the neighborhood playground by themselves anymore. That's
Right.
for sure.
Exactly. Because we used to walk from Howard Street over to Vine Street Playground. Mm-hmm. And that was the playground for that area. And,
Yep.
You know,
Same. We would walk from Upper Berlin Street down to Ward 5 School or down to Willie Street.
or Caldereira's candies.
Yeah, we go down
counter.
to Colorado. Oh, love to go there. They had such good stuff, the penny candies, and they were just such great people.
Gigi and Louise.
Yeah, always to hang around in there with
Nicest
them. And
people.
they really were. They didn't care if you sat out front on
Yeah.
the little porch.
So that was just right. I showed you. We took that ride that day, and I showed you where we lived. So we just walked
Yeah.
down the street to get there. But then we'd keep going down River Street on the Granite Street to Inea Lavoie's little market, right next to the Granite Street Bridge. Mm-hmm. And remember, we'd go there, and we'd have to bring her. Every year, she wanted us to bring one of our school pictures. The little ones you have.
Yeah.
And she'd tack them up on the wall, and then she knew what everybody's birthday was because she wrote it on the back. And then she'd tell us, when you're old enough to drink, come here to get your beer because for the kids that I know, I keep the real cold beer out back.
Oh, jeez. That's funny.
So the day I turned 18, I was right down there and went in the back, and she had a refrigerator there with a colder
A
beer.
special one
Yeah.
with a colder beer.
Yeah, for the special kids in the neighborhood.
Interesting. That's cute. Well, and my dad always told me there was places like where you could go and they would give you donuts or they would give you a
Yes.
piece of salami or
Yeah.
like the kids would just literally wander into the stores and the
Yeah.
storekeepers were there and everybody knew everybody.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah.
before we moved over to Howard Street, which I think was 62, we lived in my grandmother's apartment building, which was right behind where Emslie's is now. Mm-hmm. And my mom would give us a nickel each, and we just walk up towards where Emslie's is, and there was Jarvis's, not Emslie's, Forget Me Not.
Yeah.
There was a bakery there, Jarvis's Bakery. And I think it was like on Tuesdays, you went to the back door and they'd have a little bag. They just bagged it. Might have a donut, might have a cookie. You have your nickel and you get your mystery bag and off you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my dad used to tell us
Yeah.
the stories about that. Like, you kids don't know what you're missing. We could have, or so-and-so, they had real pepperoni there. You don't know what real pepperoni is. And we could go down and they would slice us off a chunk.
Probably
And,
went over to Bud's Market there, right across from where Cumberland Farms is.
yeah.
That place on the corner.
On North Main.
Yeah.
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 I know. All those places.
Yeah.
That when you were showing me the pictures the other day, I think Johnny posted one.
See
and then,
Johnny's. Yeah.
yes, that was adorable, but it was so hard to envision where it was because it looks nothing like that now.
Right.
Like the apartment building or
But
the
I recognized
house
it when
and-
I looked at it.
Right, the houses that were there. It looked like there was a house. We were looking at it from like if you were standing on Granite looking
Right.
toward Main Street. So there was a house. It looked like a house to the left of Northfield Savings Bank. And
It did look like a house, yeah.
I think when I was a kid, to the left of Northfield Savings wouldn't it have been Old Colony Sports?
It was Old Colony Sports. Sassy's. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. That's what was in there, and I don't remember what else was in there, but I remember that's Old Colony Sports was there. I grew
To the
there with
left
my
of it
grandfather.
was Arioli's clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just remember going into Old Colonies with my grandfather and
Yeah.
him talking to them in there and getting, whatever
Yeah.
he needed in there for the season. And
So where the Northfield Savings Bank is, I think that was a restaurant. At one time, I think that was a restaurant.
that would be interesting to find out. We should go up to the History Center someday and check it out.
Yeah.
I've never been in there.
Neither
And,
have
I would love to see what we could find. And I got to get that book out when we get home.
I was in
too.
that building once my whole life, and it was like 6th grade, 7th grade maybe,
Mm-hmm.
for basketball. Didn't have a little gym down in the basement or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
The gym was in the basement. The cafeteria was in the basement.
Because I went
Yeah.
to St. Monica's school, so.
When we get home, remind me to get that book out and those papers out that I told you I have for this building. It's
Yeah,
this
I want to see
building
those.
and the one right next door where
We've got to find-
Beltrami's was.
We got to find somebody that, well, I don't know who's around here anymore, that could tell us what the hell those windows are down in the basement.
I know.
Below ground level windows.
Yeah, literal. There's glass in them and everything. That is now.
You
like,
can just see the curved
boarded
tops
up.
of them.
You can see the curved tops from the alleyway, and down there you can see the whole damn window.
Yeah.
That's all boarded up.
Yep.
But there's ground. There's gravel there now. It's not a. It's very weird.
It's very strange.
And I'm assuming that there are several buildings, maybe right here in
Sure.
that same, with that same scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. They don't, the windows, just those shapes that you see outside, there's literal like a 6-foot window down there
Yeah.
with glass in it. And there's boards on this side. Yeah. Have to mention before we go, Sunday, January 25th, 2026, Coffee and Candidates in Northfield with Brian Massey and Tim Davis. They are select board candidates over there. And we've been talking with them a little bit. They want to come in and do interview with us, kind of introduce themselves. And we'll probably be doing a lot more of that over the next several months of candidates from all over, definitely here in the city. We always open the door no matter who you are, what you're running for, what party you're affiliated with or not affiliated with. If you want to use the platform and our microphones, like I'll sit over here, run the board, but you want somebody else to interview you besides me or Michael or whomever, you can choose to do that just because we think it's important that we get that information out to everyone. And so I don't want people to think that, because I lean one way and I kind of, the way I lean, most people that say have no clue where I stand on any of it. And it's always because I try to stay in the middle as much as possible. And sure, do I lean one way more than the other sometimes? Absolutely. But I do try to stay in the middle. But none of that matters to me when it comes to this in the platform.
Right.
And people getting to sit here and be comfortable and spread their word and their message. Because I think it's important that we all know who's running, no matter the party affiliation, who it is, and we get to know about them and what their ideas are.
Right.
And let's face it, things are freaking screwy all over the entire United States. And so having that opportunity to talk to everyone is, I think, a big deal.
And you got to remember, there's town meeting in March, and for the city, we only vote on the school budget in the March election. Then we have our elections in May.
And that is so that you can give the city of Barry, the people that are taxpayers, you can give them an actual budget that they're voting on. If you do it in March, you can't give them an actual budget. It's a guessing game.
Yeah, it's just like shooting a dart at a board and hope it lands in the right spot.
And I wouldn't want to do that either, because then you take the chance on really pissing people off. If you say, oh, it's only going to increase 1% and it increases 3%, you're in big trouble.
You know as well as I
For
do.
telling
It
the
doesn't matter
lie.
where you end up, somebody's going to be pissed off. So
That's the truth. Yeah. Lots of changes happening.
yes,
City, state, but all of it counts. Your voice counts.
that's right.
No matter what,
every
get out
vote
to the
counts.
polls. And then if you are someone who wants to be a candidate, there are seats open. There are seats open in the city. There's Ward 1 and Ward...
All three wards.
All three. One,
Yep.
1, 2, and 3. There are city...
Because they're staggered. Each ward has 2 councilors. So you have, one for each ward 1 year, then the next year the other three. So they're
The other
staggered
three.
2-year terms.
Yep.
And
So there's 3 open in the city. There's school board seats open. There's seats open in the town and all across Vermont. And some people do vote in March. So you have to pay attention to that too, depending on where you are. Some people vote for everything on town meetings, so their budgets, their candidates, everything, and some people don't. So you have to keep track of that as well. Bear City-
register and vote.
Absolutely.
Register and vote.
Yeah, and make sure you read all the rules because apparently some of those are changing too. I don't know if it's this year that the changes will take effect, but read all the rules, make sure you know what you're doing. And the absentee ballot thing, you have to request those. You just found that out, right?
Yeah, you have
Every
to request
year?
it yearly, yes. So I went in 2 weeks ago, and all you have to do is you sign this thing, and boom, get your ballot sent to you. And
Good, good deal. All right, guys, stay safe. We'll see you next week.
stay warm.
Yes, stay warm. Check on your neighbors. If you're using alternative heat sources, be careful. Make sure you have proper ventilation, and if it's electric, that you don't have a bunch of shit around it or combustibles or anything like that. And yeah, be safe.
If you have
And in doubt, call for
if you have
help.
a gas heater, the direct vent out, and if whether you've had it professionally serviced or not, you should check, maybe every couple of months, check your filters in the back of the machine. They're right there, just lift them out, make sure they're not clogged up with dust. Does a couple of things, prevents a fire and gives you, your heater runs a lot more efficiently.
Yep. Yeah. You said it. I'm just making
Yes, I
sure
did.
that we don't have anything else to say. Nope, we got it all, I think. It's all out there,
All right.
as much as we possibly could share anyway. So go to the Meltdown and have a Reuben. That sounds really, really
That sounds good.
So, yeah, go check that out. Get out if you can safely today, tomorrow, but be prepared because it's going to be
Yeah.
nasty. So get the kids prepared for cartoons and snacks on the living room floor.
Yep.
Yeah, hunker down. Check on your neighbor.